Then, everybody, I want you to give... Thank you all for coming, by the way. Now you're all full. You can have a little snooze while we talk some crap for an hour. Please give it up for Sherrie Hewson, Lisa Riley, and Gaynor Faye.
Woohoo! Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Hello, darling. Hello. Hi.
Take a seat.
The hot seats.
Seat.
We've been warming them up for you, don't worry.
Yeah. There are a few of them are a little bit delicate because they had a few too many shandies last night. Yeah.
Was this last night?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it isn't now, is it? Obviously.
We got a couple of people who are cracking back on.
Yeah, we've got a few gin and tonics down here.
Yeah.
When you're in Blackpool, you have to, don't you? I mean, what's the point of coming to bloody Blackpool if you don't get pissed?
Exactly.
Well, Sherrie, these lot, after the cabaret, went to Pop World clubbing until 3 in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well done.
They really went for it and then finished it off with a doner kebab.
Oh.
Classic Blackpool. Classic.
Well, it'll keep you regular. That's it. You'll be fine. Bring it down to the basics.
Of course, always Sherrie.
Right, shall we start with Emmerdale? Because every single one of you has been in Emmerdale.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
Have you ever been in it at the same time?
I don't know.
Yeah, when my sort of when I came back, so you were like that was kind of maybe a month, was it then that crossover?
Yeah, we literally had a month.
Well, we did Fat Friends together for years.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
we want to
really
talk
did
about
Fat
that.
Friends.
Talk about
Really did Fat Friends. Did Fat Friends.
You weren't fat enough.
It was the pandemic.
Yeah.
that stopped it, I'm afraid.
Were we in Emmerdale together?
I don't think we were we?
No, I don't.
Corrie,
think so.
maybe.
Yes, we definitely did Corrie together.
But not Emma. I don't think we were.
No.
What year was you in Corrie? Emmerdale?
2006.
No.
For about 3 years.
1 year.
I think.
Yeah, I did
like that.
7.
Who was I?
Lisa, you started
Yes.
in 1995.
95. It's my 30th in July coming.
Wow.
I'm that old.
That is. And it was a guest role, right?
Yeah, I was only supposed to be in one episode, and the casting director, Sue Jackson at the time, she said, will you come and do this episode? And I was like, yeah. And then 3 months later, they said, come and do 6 months. And Mandy Dingle, 30 years in July. So, yeah.
A round of applause for that. Absolute round of applause.
Long time, yeah. I had a big gap in the middle, obviously, doing other stuff, but yeah.
But what happened was it was a guest role.
Yes.
And then within a year, you'd won the National Television Award.
Did. I know. It's, yeah, which was really nice. And obviously a proud moment because we were always second fiddle to Corrie, always. And Matt Hilton, a director who's still there now, he's amazing. He used to always say that Corrie was Prince William and Emmerdale was Prince Harry. He always said that. Yeah, it's true. And then when I won that award, it kind of shifted. And, Emmerdale got a bit raunchy and a bit sexy. And, and then we started, keeping up with the Joneses, which was Corrie. And now we are completely like it's like an even keel now.
Definitely.
The viewing figures are always they're always about 4.5 mil, so it's like the same little pot. It's lovely. Yeah.
And you Dingles are a right lot, aren't
We're terrible. Yeah. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
We can't even spell illegal.
Wow.
It's true.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I know. I always say, Mandy Dingle learned the eyes off Princess Diana. I do these eyes, and it's like, I get away with murder. I just turn Mandy's eyes on and get away with it. Yeah.
Oh, what a character to have played, though.
Oh, she's a dream. And,
Amazing.
you'll know being a writer as well. From the writer's point of view, like, there's nothing you can't give Mandy. There's nothing you can't give her. And whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And for me as an actor, I think, when we're acting, every day is a joy. So I'm never bored. It's always,
Great.
and all the outfits. It is, yeah. Every day's a dress-up day. It's fun.
You're lucky you didn't have Reg. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I worked with him in Venice. They did an amalgamation.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know, it was hellish.
Oh, you didn't have to get into bed with him.
Oh, Sherry's got some brilliant Reg stories.
Oh.
Come on, Sherrie, give us a Reg story.
There's a
Give them what they want.
The famous waterbed scene with Reg. And so it was in it had 400 gallons of water in the bed, literally. And it had Mavis and Derek were downstairs and supposedly drilled up and it broke the waterbed. So in the bed at the time, because it could be one take of the gallons of water. So I'm sitting in the bed and I have nothing on, but I'm covered. And he's got nothing on. And but a towel wrapped round him, and believe me, that was hard to get round that stomach. Anyway, I'm not talking about other bits. But anyway, so the scene was that I'm screaming, bah, 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 and Reg runs round the bed and out of shot of the camera drops his towel. Oh. Believe me, that's why I've been on my own for 16 years. I have never, ever got over it. It was green, so I don't know where he had it. But the worst thing of it all, it was green. I know, and the worst thing of it was he got back into bed and I thought, what's that smell? And he covered all his bits with gorgonzola cheese. Now, why? I don't know. To this day, I don't know.
That's the weirdest
Corrie
thing I've ever heard.
I mean, yeah.
There's a whole new show.
Oh,
Back to cheese.
But,
Sherrie. I would have been straight onto HR. That's not okay.
Well, you didn't. You had to put up with it in those days, I'm afraid. Now I'd kick him out. Anyway, so that's one of the stories.
Gaynor, what year did you join Corrie?
1999.
1999.
Yeah.
Was that your first big gig?
Yeah. No, I did an 8-part drama series for the BBC called The Sharp End, which was a Roy Clark series, which was brilliant. But then, and I loved Corrie, but then you had to do like chemistry tests, and they put me together with Ian Mercer, who played Gary Mallet, and they wanted these 2 young Duckworths to come in. And I just remember like meeting him, and he was just really sweet. But we didn't actually read together. I read with a different actor. So when I got the job, which was wonderful, I found out when I was in the cafe, I was doing some washing up, and I found out I got the job. I took off my rubber gloves and walked out straight away. I was like, literally, and
Bye.
yeah, see you later. But it was just so brilliant. It was like iconic characters, like Sherrie was there, and like Julie Goodyear. It was like Sarah Lancashire, Ivy Tilsley. It was like the golden days of Corrie. It was wonderful.
Yeah,
it's a strange time though in those days because there was no social media, and we were, we only did 3 episodes. Did you go into 3?
Yeah.
And it was only 3 episodes. But the funniest thing I ever experienced was with Sarah Lanks. Sarah Lancashire was lovely. I have to tell you, she was a lovely girl. But we had a green room. And in the green room, next to the green room, was a little where we had tea. Do you remember? You used to have tea in those days. Anyway, I didn't know. I've been an actor for 25 years before I went into Corrie. So I knew all about, but I didn't know about soaps and how big soaps were, and how they weren't they? I mean, you were in newspapers every day. So one day I walked into the green room and Sarah Lancashire went, "Get down on your knees." And I thought, oh my God, what have I done? And outside the window of the green room were all these vans with all these lenses like that.
Wow.
And I didn't know what they were. And I was going, get down on your knees. But I didn't realize what all those lenses were looking at you through the garden, through the window, right into the green room. Wow. And they could take pictures of whatever you were doing. Really? Yeah, so I thought, next time I'll do something. We're taking a picture of.
Get the gorgonzola out.
But yeah, they're different
Lisa,
things.
was you in Emmerdale when the plane crash happened?
No.
No, you missed that.
Yeah, that was so Mervyn Watson, who was a writer back in those days on Corrie, he got shifted and basically was risen up to be the big boss, the producer. And I think he was told from ITV at the time, let's spunk it up. Literally, let's make, Emmerdale spunking. And he did. He brought the Dingles, the plane crash. That was all that time. And I think as any producer, you'll see it when you watch it, you can always tell when a new producer's arrived because more often than not, 6, 7 characters wipe out. Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, it is. We call it Tipex moment. He's literally, and hopefully you won't be in the Tipex, But yeah, that's when Mervyn came, and then obviously when we did the big Butch death as well, that was a new producer came in, and Kieran Roberts, who then went up to Corrie.
Yeah.
Kieran came in, and he had a big wipeout, and obviously Butch, and that was the first time Emmerdale won the BAFTA for Butch's death. Yeah, when we did the big van crash for that, which was amazing. So yeah, it's been a good time. I actually had 4 words in Corrie when I was 14 years old. You talk about the Battersbys. So what's the supermarket? Freshco.
Better Buy.
Better Buy, yeah.
Yes, so it was Ivy's last
Oh my
episode.
God,
She
Ivy.
ever did. It was Ivy's last episode, and I came in as Curly Watts' new trainee, and I just had to say, thank you so much, Mr. Watts. And it was fraught with meaning. Yeah, I was 14, yeah.
Oh, I played a nurse as well in the medical centre with Gail Platt. What?
Helen.
Sorry, yes, yeah. And she was, obviously, I'm quite tall and she's quite small. And so they had to raise her up on a box to come up and join me. Come up here.
They do that with a lot of the actors.
Yeah.
Did you work with Ivy? Was you either of you two?
Do what?
Yeah, she was
Was
definitely
Ivy
there.
in it when you was there?
Helen.
Ivy Tilsley.
Ivy
Oh, you
Yes.
mean, what's her name?
What's her name? Perry.
Lynn Perry.
Perry.
Lynn Perry. Oh yes, I started with Lynn Perry and Better Buys. We worked in Better Buys together, and she was a character.
She was such
we
a
can't tell you
character.
the stories.
No.
Okay.
Oh, come on, Sherrie.
No, there's too many stories attached to Lynn Perry, but the one that everybody knew was when she had some plastic surgery. Do you remember this? It was all in the papers everywhere. And we were all on set waiting for her to arrive, and she literally arrived on set with lips that were bigger than her face, eyes and everything tucked, and she was like, and we all stood there, didn't know what to do because we were in the middle of a scene. The whole place shut down. And she was taken upstairs, and she literally couldn't speak. But she thought she looked fabulous.
I know,
And she
bless
went,
her.
look at her eyes, they're so beautiful. I thought, bless you, Lynn. And it was so sad, wasn't it? Because she really wanted to be a supermodel. But she was only 3 foot, bless her.
With 2 Richmond sausages on her lips.
And nowadays, all the girls look like that, don't they?
Well, they do now, don't they? And I think to be a supermodel over the age of 60, probably she was on the wrong side of it, really.
Yeah, bless her, yeah.
Bless her. She was a character, but that's what Corrie is really famous for. The female actresses with that diva.
Matriarchal show.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah,
all
yeah.
the women, that's how it started, wasn't it? With the 3 ladies in the snug, and that's how they were, the big matriarchal characters, and that's what it should remain, because it's fantastic to see those women. And that era, maybe it's not quite the same now, but I love that. I love all that, the Julie Goodyears and
Strong northern women. I think it is that, and I think even to this day, as much as we have to move forward with the stories, but it always maintains the fact that the females are the stronger ones. It's good. Yeah.
And there was always a fight on the
be.
street as well, wasn't there?
Oh,
With
yes.
2 of the
I love that Gail and Eileen's fight. That is brilliant. When she drags her by the hair, rolling across the cobble.
There's been a lot of those, hasn't there? Yeah.
Now, Gaynor, I really want to speak to you about Dancing on Ice.
Oh, yes.
Because it was the first ever series.
Yeah.
Why the hell did you ever sign up?
Yes.
I have
Talk us
absolutely
through
no
that
idea.
decision making.
Well, I got my little girl, so I needed to lose a bit of weight because she was like a year old. And Strictly had happened, and it was kind of like I really wanted to do Strictly. That's what I really wanted to do. But then they asked me about coming on this new show, and it was like, it's going to be on dancing, but on 7-inch blades instead. And I was like, well, and they said, Torvald and team will teach you how to do it. They'll be your mentors. And I was like, well, do you know what? I used to sit with my mum and watch the ice skating. So I thought to myself, getting taught by these 2 legends would be amazing, just wonderful. Anyway, and then I got paired with the incredible Daniel Whiston, who is literally, I'm going to go see
From
after
Blackpool?
this. Yeah, from Blackpool. He lives down the road, so I'm going for a cup of tea with him. And I literally could not. He was just brilliant, and we went to Burnley to practice. And then on the first day of the show, so we're doing our first live show, and I was doing like 3 steps. I was trying to do the steps. I couldn't stop, so I hadn't learned how to stop on my first live show. I couldn't do it because we're doing all these little. So I just kind of skated on, and a bit like the other. Yeah, who was it who skated on?
Oh, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Mark Senders.
Yeah.
I would have done that, but Dan saved me. Literally, I was like just skating off like this, and he just grabbed me and pulled
you back.
He put it into a little spin. But no, he was brilliant, and I was really, really. I kind of thought to myself, no, I'll really learn how to skate. It's all about the skating. And then on day one, I was busy skating and Bonnie Langford was busy being thrown around in the air. And she was so light and I was so heavy compared to... So I was in the first ever skate-off.
Really?
Yeah, because I wasn't very good. I was, it was all about skating for me, and everyone else was doing tricks and wonderful things.
When did it finally click? When did it? Because obviously, for those that don't know, you ended up winning.
You won it.
Yeah.
When did it click and you go, I've got this now?
I think because of my acting and because Dan was such a wonderful, emotive skater as well, and he was so supportive, and our friendship really came out. And I wasn't in it to win it. I literally was in it to get fit and to learn to skate. So there was no, sob story. It was the first ever series, so you didn't know about what you were supposed to do. And I just really enjoyed the experience and I think that came across. And I think what happened was we just used to be able to tell the story. It's, emote. I don't know, like literally it was like being on stage. It was a drama, and some other people were doing like big performance. And
But people do really respond to that
yeah.
side of it. If they can feel it, then they enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
I think, yeah. So I think it was a friendship, the fact that I was actually really enjoying the experience and people could buy into that, and the fact
People
that I was
like
in the
to see you
skate
grow
off.
as well. They don't like someone who's like a Catherine Wheel.
Who's already,
you know what I mean? They don't want that. They won't pick up the phone for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the underdog.
And then so at the end, when we're doing the fly-in, Bonnie got to the end, and she was just like this amazing, but she'd done Peter Pan, so she'd done this.
I remember going to watch her doing Peter Pan when I was about 5. I can't believe, she must have been so... She's like 150.
I mean,
She seems to have been around forever.
She's incredible. I mean, I can't take it away from her. She's absolutely incredible. But when you go up on that rig, she's like flying through the sky, and I'm just like, like when you're hanging down like that with your rope. I'm going, and I'm supposed to be doing it to angels. I'm flying angels, Robbie. And I'm going, can you pick me up? Dan, can you pick me up? And I'm trying to I look like trying to do Superman rather than be an angel. So it was pretty ridiculous. But the audience loved it. And, I haven't got the trophy because it snapped on the way home. It was a really disgusting plastic trophy.
I want a bit of tea.
The funny thing is, last year I did the what's it called? The
Full Monty.
Full Monty.
Yes.
Not that one. The charity Full Monty with the fabulous Pete Wicks, who's gone on to do all sorts of things. And anyway, Colleen Nolan was doing it, my mate, and she said to me, "Oh, can you skate?" I said, "I can." She said, "Well, we did the Full Monty skating." I went,
no.
"Oh my God!"
That sounds really dangerous.
Why
Can you
would
imagine
you do that?
skating naked?
What about on the flying? Tagging out. Woo!
And everything's swinging.
Defying gravity.
Oh, you'd be hitting people in the face with things, and and I went, no way, that's. Oh, can you imagine?
I think there is like a weird connection that you've all got, which is that you've all got your kit off on stage, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So, Calendar Girls, right? And same for you, Lisa. And then obviously, what's it like getting your clothes off on stage?
At first,
It's amazing.
I loved it.
it's so euphoric. Yeah. Oh yeah. You just get used to it. I think it's more what I used to do when there was a bit where I was on the trestle table and there was donuts to cover. Obviously, one there, one
You'd
there.
have to have some big donuts.
It's true.
Bloody hell.
Winch him in on a stair lift, literally. But I'd look at the rig and you'd be like going, there was like a rule where it was a closed set, and when they knew when that bit was coming up, and there'd always be like people upstairs.
Well, of course.
Of course, they wanted a right good gander, and from up there was a great view. But
You're joking.
in rehearsals,
Well,
it
of
was just like, you just got to
course.
do it.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
It's when you first start, it's really kind of you embarrassed and everything, and then but literally halfway through the run, you're like throwing off your clothes, you couldn't care less. Backstage, you're like running around naked. But I had a really funny experience in Glasgow, and there's a King's Theatre, and the rake is like this on the King's Theatre. And I had the little trolley as well. So Celia's supposed to have a Danish buns here. Did you play Celia?
No, I played Ruth. With 2 baps and a spoon.
So this rake's really steep, and I've got my trolley. So you do this, and then you've got your buns. Then 1, 2, 3, and then you do this with your hands. And so I did that, and because the rake was so steep, my trolley started to run away, and I went, oh! So I'm literally.
Oh,
no! It's the first time I've ever had a standing ovation.
You lost your buns.
Literally got lost. My buns.
The good thing about Calendar Girls is it's quite choreographed, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is like the inch, because then you would literally have a nip slip, and so you'd know when to do the right thing and not. So it was all right then.
Yeah.
All very sort of safely placed.
Yes.
Right, got you.
But obviously nerve-wracking when you first take the part.
Yeah. Well, a bit. And then you get some
I love it.
But you get some exhibitionists who are like, oh, I'm really nervous. Actually, no, can you go a bit smaller with that? No, actually, one. Or they start with loads of roses, and then you end up with just like
Twig.
Twigs.
a twig.
Swig.
On the full Monty, it was funny because I was always standing next to Colleen, and she's got very big thingies, like that. And I haven't, and she said, aren't you nervous? I went, no, I couldn't give a shit. And she went, oh my God, I've done it for 5 years and I'm still nervous. And all the boys would just whip everything off and let it all hang out. Nobody bothered at all. And Paul Burrell, Paul Burrell?
Oh, yes.
Well, he wouldn't keep his clothes on. And then what literally was one person, because we had a live audience, went, put your clothes on, Paul. They're all supposed to be naked. Because he wouldn't keep them on. We went, oh, we don't want to see it anymore. It's away, for God's sake. You get used to it, though.
Yeah, you definitely.
We only had to do it once, so you had to do it every night.
Yeah.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, how long was the run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Naked every night.
Yeah, I can see
town.
why you would just be like, I can't be bothered to be worried about this anymore. I'm just going to go out there and do it.
You have to, don't you?
Whip it up.
Yeah.
And of course, you all have also been on the famous Loose Women. Yes?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we've got to talk about
Now,
that.
loose women, we want all the tea
we need
spilled
some
right
goss.
here, right now.
Yeah, we need some exclusive gossip. We were going to ask you, who is the worst guest that you've had on Loose Women?
Oh. Well, I did it for 16 years, so I had a lot of bloody worse guests.
Yes. We thought you might, Sherrie. That's why we asked.
But we had lovely guests. I'll tell you, the loveliest guests were Friends, the whole cast of Friends. And they
you
were
mean Friends American conference?
They were
Wow.
just the nicest people I have ever met. But the nicest one was Ross, David Schwimmer. He was, to die for, was so lovely. So they were all lovely. And but we haven't had, did you meet any horrible guests when you were on it?
No, I mean,
Cannon Street Porter. I was petrified of her.
Well, yeah.
Like literally, yeah. When I was working with, she has this aura about her, though.
No, she doesn't.
She does.
No, she doesn't.
It's like.
No, it isn't.
It is.
No, it isn't.
Well, she's probably scared of you. That's why.
She was scared of me.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest, I'm a bit scared of you.
Yeah. I bet she was, because it was like whenever you went in the room, it was like, oh yeah, and I used to get nervous.
Did you?
Yeah, really nervous.
Just slapped her one, I did. No, you don't take any notice of Janet. No, I used to tell her to, and she was fine then. I used to treat her like that. But do you not meet anybody you thought?
No, because I don't think I presented it. I've just been on it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just dragged you in.
I presented this morning with John Leslie.
Oh.
So I used to, I filled in for, was it Richard and Judy?
Yeah.
A few times, with John Leslie. So that was an interesting time.
But
How did you find
was
it?
Lovely. He
I
was
really
lovely.
liked
No, it was
him.
lovely, though, wasn't it? I
Really
liked him
lovely.
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have been a, can't think of the word. But,
Probably best not
in
to
this
say
room, anyway. But he was lovely,
He was
though,
really
wasn't
sweet. He was really sweet to me. But so I did that, and I've done a bit of stuff on Lorraine. I've presented for that as well.
Is it hard doing the live kind of presenting?
Well,
in the morning as well, I guess.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know, it's
that
quite.
was hard getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock.
You have to be careful what you say, that's all.
Yeah, it's
you know.
very
Yeah, you wouldn't
I'm
be able
getting
to
used
do
to
it,
this.
Sherrie.
No, that's why I don't do it.
Especially if you're covering Lorraine, that's like really early in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's different. But the big one is GMB because they're there
It's even
from.
earlier.
Oh, yeah,
Good
Good Morning Britain,
Yeah,
yeah.
very, very early. But nowadays there's lawyers all over them. You know, you can't say anything. We're taken off the air immediately. In my time, it wasn't. We just used to say what we thought.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
It was dead good
consider.
telly, wasn't it?
Those were the days.
Telly
Those were the days.
It was
Brilliant
great
telly.
telly. Great telly.
Did you, in some of the discussions that you had, did the arguments flow after the show sometimes? Or?
No, because it isn't like that. Do you know what I mean? You got, well, I mean, we would, somebody would say, why did you say that? And you'd say, well, because you're an arsehole, that's why. And so don't say things like that to me, otherwise I'll come back at you. And
Yes, Sherrie.
I did that. And so nobody ever came back at me then.
I wonder why.
But no, it was fine.
So, has anyone got any questions?
Yes,
Yeah.
come on.
Oh.
Right.
Woo!
I'm coming.
We'll do a couple of sections of this, but Lorna will go around with
Okay,
the
I'm
mic
coming,
now.
I'm coming down here. Who had their hand up? Yes, I'm coming.
Question for Lisa.
Hiya.
Can you tell us something about yourself that nobody knows about?
Good question.
God.
Keep it clean, she said.
I don't know. I thought I'd like to think I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm quite an open person in that sense, and yeah, I'm like what you see is what you get. I'm like northern through and through. I think career-wise, I've always wanted to do a period drama. That's the one thing with the tits, with the baps. I've always wanted like a corset. Like the idea of being like downstairs with no teeth. I wouldn't be a posh one upstairs. I'd be a cook. Proper scrubber. That sort of thing. In career-wise, I'd still really, really love to do. It's you look back at your life, and I feel like I've had a really lovely career, and there's nothing that I've not done apart from that. That would be my real tick the box moment. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'd like to do probably.
Good question. Right, I'm coming all the way over here. Do, 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 do.
Getting your steps in now.
I know, I'm getting my step. I'm covered in sweat. I'm coming. I got to squeeze. Where? Yeah? Yes.
Would any of you do a celebrity?
Oh.
Jungle. Good question.
Yeah.
We do probably all been asked. We get asked quite a lot. I think I would be that really annoying person who's like, no, I'm claustrophobic. Oh no, I'm too scared of it. I've just got so many fears. Yeah, scared of everything. So people would just want to vote me off straight away. So it might be quite a good idea to do it and just stay in the Versace hotel and enjoy myself. But yeah, it can ruin your reputation.
Yeah, I think as well. I don't think I'd be able to cope with boredom. As you can tell, like we all talk a lot, right? But I think that sort of nothing to do would drive me crazy, and also being put in there with people. You've got to be careful as well. But yeah, I said maybe. Well, I'm 49 next year. Next year would be the time I would do it because it's before my 50th. It's like things to do before you're 50. So I have actually said, and I'm watching it this year. I love it. I'm really invested in this series. So maybe next. They've asked me every year.
You heard it here, baby.
Maybe next year.
Exclusive.
Bingo
Next on my
exclusive.
50th. Yes.
Exclusive.
No, I don't think I'd do it. I mean, I've been asked a few times, and I've often thought, but just my daughter keeps saying, please go, because she wants to go to the Versace hotel. But I don't think I would, because I'd be so annoying. I'd have arguments with everybody.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I know, but I'd tell everybody to off, and so...
And we mustn't forget that
wouldn't like
Sherrie
me.
has done Big Brother, haven't you? Celebrity Big Brother.
Yes,
Already
I did
been on-
do Big Brother. I slept next to Snoop Doggy Dog.
Oh, did you?
Not with him,
That's what she tells
next
us.
to him. And he used to snore like a walrus. And it's weird. It's a weird show to do, Big Brother. Weird show to do. So now I think once you've done one of those, you've had enough, really.
Yeah, the sharing of a bedroom, no way.
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
You see,
that's the worst thing
that's
about it.
horrible. Yeah.
Unless you're Sharon Osbourne, who did last year and she got her own bedroom.
I know. That annoyed me that bit a bit, to be honest.
I think
Right,
as well.
we've got one question here.
sorry.
Yep.
This one's for Lisa.
of TV shows or films, have you got a guilty pleasure?
That I've been in or that I watch.
Either.
My Housewives of Beverly Hills is my ultimate. It's amazing. Like, and it hooks me in so much, and I pretend that I'm not watching it, and I'm so invested. And their lives are so fake and fabricated, and it's just this real. It's like this big bundle of lies, but yes, I love it. I truly do. And it's not, and I'm not, this is the truth, but Fat Friends will and always be the best character. What your mother, the role that Kay, Gaynor's mum, wrote for me, it was a really funny time. I'd done lots of presenting and at the time, and I spoke to Kay, Gaynor's mum, and I said, I want to literally strip everything back, because there is a lot of vanity in our industry. And what I love to watch, I love non-vain on telly. If you look like a minger, right, then you're doing the right sort of thing. And if the character that I played who was bullied and your mum was amazing, just stripped it all back, and it is, Rebecca Patterson will always be the best role I've ever played in my life. Always.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they were so amazing because Lisa and James used to do these sketches. Used to have us in hysterics off camera. They used to come up with these characters, and we'd be like, "What are you doing today?" They'd have all the cast and the crew waiting to see these characters. So it was actually James and Lisa that were making all these characters. Life Before Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah. And it was on. So the third series, we all lived together in the hotel in Leeds when we were filming, and at the Radisson Hotel was where Gavin and Stacey was created. And it was just one night. We were all sat up. We'd been swimming at the hotel, and we'd all met in the bar, and then as we do, nattering, doing our sketches. And it was just this idea of a family from Wales and a family from London, and would it amalgamate? And then, wow, here it is now and we're so proud of Ruth and James.
Oh, they're amazing.
And the Christmas special is going to be
I can't wait.
incredible. Incredible. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, I love that story. I'm definitely going to tap more of that story out of you later. I've got another question, though.
Sherrie, can you tell us about your Carry On Behind days?
Oh, Sherrie, Carry On Behind days.
Well, the carry-ons were what Benny Dorm became, because Benny Dorm was proper carry-on as far as I'm concerned. And I did the carry-on behind, and I did a television series called Carry On Laughing, I think it was called. The only television series they ever made. Those actors, and I think we appreciate them now. The Kenneth Connor, Kenneth Williams, Joan Sims, all of those were wonderful, wonderful actors. And I don't think they were appreciated ever, really, until they all died. And they were amazing. If you think how they churned those films out, they churned them out within 6 weeks. And they worked so hard, but they were always made in March. And at the back of Pinewood Studio, there was a field. And that field was everything. It was whether it was a campsite or it don't matter. They just made, and the Carry On Behind was made in the beginning of March, and it was freezing. And so we were all in bikinis, and they used to come and tell us to sit still, and we were blue, So they used to paint us like a pink color, look as though we had, look as though we hadn't died. And then we had to sit still, and they'd spray all the mud green round us, so we couldn't get up because of and the mud was that big. And then all the trees would have people would be sticking leaves on the trees, and then one day it started to snow, and I thought, thank God. So let us go, and they went, no, it looks like apple blossoms. Stay where you are. It was unbelievable. You never stopped for any reason. You just carried on until you literally dropped, frozen to death. But it was amazing to work with those people. I'll never ever forget all of them that I met. And I actually lived with Joan Sims in London. So Joan and I came from Nottingham. So my agent was Joan Sims. He said, you're going to go and stay with Joan Sims. I went, right, okay. So I stayed with Joni. And she was just fabulous. So at night, all the carry-ons would come round and there'd be a party. Wow. Kenneth Williams would be on a table, stripping, pissed, absolutely pissed out of his head. And it would, I wish I'd had, but you wouldn't. Anyway, every night, Joan used to say to me, bring my water jug up and come and sit with me and talk to me. Aww. So I used to go up and sit with her, and she'd finish her water jug and then sort of collapse. And I used to think, Oh, well, you know. So one day I went up and I went to take, she went, don't touch my water. And I realised, of course, it was vodka. Every night. And in the end, she'd be going, I think you should go to bed now. You look very tired. Oh, she was just amazing. So to answer your question, it was the best time ever. And I learnt my trade from people like them, you know, and I'm very proud to have been part of it.
Excellent question, excellent answer. Any more for any more? I'm coming. Yes?
Question for Lisa. What's your most embarrassing scene that you've ever done?
Okay, so in the old Woolpack set when we used to film, and obviously it's so much faster now. What Sherrie was saying, back in the day we were doing 2 episodes a week, 3. Now we do 6, right? And as the girls know, if the Woolpack set's like this, where you are, there's 4 rows of where the supporting artists sit. And Pierre, who's like, he'll go, darling, okay, come and grab. And he went, Lisa, darling, we've got a really important scene. We've got to get it in, And I was like, right, okay, but you've got to get changed. So I ran to my dressing room, and when they say that, you realise you've literally, a 3-minute scene that you'll see on telly probably took us, we literally had 2 minutes to shoot it, but in real time, we can normally do about an hour and 10 minutes, we can get a scene done. So I legs it, and of course, Mandy Dingle's clothes, not very much of it, and I run to my dressing room, run back, and all the extras are like this, and Dominic, who plays Paddy, goes, your arse, right? And basically, as I'd pulled my tights, literally, they'd come open, and all the extras could see was my very rotund arse, literally. So whenever there's a quick change now, I always go, nah, I'd rather not do the scene than have all the Woolpack extras see my bottom.
Brilliant.
Got time for one more?
One more?
Gaynor, how was it working with Larry Lamb?
Oh, yeah, he's such a trooper. He's so lovely. But he does it for the dosh. As he told me several times, I'm just here for the money. I was like, no, but you're brilliant. He is just, he just told us some lovely story. Real raconteur, somebody who tells really great stories. And he's just a really nice guy. I mean, I didn't work with him that much. I mean, obviously he played my dad, but his stuff was all done like on the little camcorder, so he had a couple of days, gets up, goes wild swimming, 6 o'clock every morning. You see him in the reception of the hotel, and he's come back from a swim when we're all just going, like, ready to go. And, just really, he's just a really nice guy. Sorry, Did you? Yeah,
Brilliant, good question.
He's a lovely guy.
Okay, and one more. We've got time for one more. Where am I going? Up the back. Ooh, I'm coming. Very excited.
Hi, guys. Let me tell you, I just want to ask you a quick question. How was it when one of the earliest things I remember watching on TV was a thing called Band of Gold. And that was something that your beloved mum wrote, I believe. And how was it growing up knowing that this was the type of subject she was dealing with? I mean, it was for me as a young child, it was like, we weren't allowed to watch it, but we did sneak in and watch it. So I'm just wondering how you dealt with that and dealing with the issues that dealt with.
I mean, it was quite, when I used to go in and see my mum typing away on the computer, you'd think she'd be writing something really soft and fluffy, and actually she was writing about chicken factory men who liked being abused and ladies dancing for them and pouring boiling hot water over them. And then that would be quite a revelation when you looked over your mum's shoulder and read those words. But so Band of Gold came about because we were coming away from a pantomime. We'd been to see a pantomime in Bradford. And we were all sat in the car, and we pulled up at some lights, and the car was all steamed up, and there was a tap on the window, and my mum put the window down, and a young girl went in, and she was only about 14, and she was looking for business, and my mum kind of was like really shocked, and she realised that there was no business here because there was a family of 4, and my mum just started to think, gosh, these girls, they're young girls. That's like my daughter in the back of my car. And she just really wanted to write about the women and make them the heroes of the show. My mum was really pro-women and pro-working class, wanting to give voices to people who didn't have a voice. and was revolutionary in what she did for women, what she did for women writers, women directors, women everything, female. But yeah, so she had a naughty mind, did my mum, but so did my nana. I mean, they literally, Marigold Mella, she was called. But I loved her. I loved the fact that she broke boundaries and she was so out there. But yeah, she wasn't like that in herself. Well, I don't know, actually. I'll have to ask my dad. Yeah, thank you.
And you did take a little bit of the mantle, because I read that you did actually write some of Fat Friends.
I did, yes, yes. So my mum had she collapsed when she was about 30 years. Well, was it Playing the Field? It was when she was writing that. She was so something was wrong then with her. And she was writing the series of Fat Friends, but we were shooting Playing the Field, and she took to her bed, and I basically said, well, listen, let me try and do a first draft of series 1, episode 2 of Fat Friends. And she went, oh, well, if you don't mind, and I can't really write anything at the moment, so I'm going to be delayed by a month. So I wrote a first draft of the first ever series of episode 2, and thinking that she'd just maybe pluck some bits from it and just help her keep on track. And she actually kept, so Alan's story was never, she overwrote it, but her story was one that I'd written straight off. But then I got to write on Playing the Field because they knew at Tiger Aspect that I'd written on that. And then continued writing for my mum on my mum's show. So I've done The Chase, and I did The Syndicate, some of The Syndicate, and Fat Friends, yeah, for all 4 series.
And do you prefer the acting or the writing now?
Yeah, I'd like to write something and act in it.
Write your own.
Yeah, write your own, do your own. But these days, that's what you have to do. You have to do the whole package. You have to do it all now. But yeah, I loved writing with my mum, and I love the fact that she trusted me to write with her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a lovely thing.
Yeah.
And she was a brilliant writer as well.
Thank you. Incredible writer. Thank you.
Lisa, Strictly.
The baps are out again. Oh, best.
How was it? How long ago was it now?
12 years ago
12
now.
years ago.
Yeah. 12 years ago, yeah. And actually, I've just filmed last week because it's the 20th year. So when this series is done now, they're doing a big, 22-hour show about the 20th year. And to be involved in Strictly is just amazing, and at the time that my mum had passed away, and I sort of, what better way to get over grief, cover yourselves in glitter and dance with my bestest friend in the world. It was incredible, and I loved it. And the best thing about when being on Strictly, as I think, obviously, us drama school kids, we all was able to dance. You know what I mean? We're not like Bonnie Langford, but we can count to 8 and we can hold a rhythm. And so when they saw me, they were like, she can dance. But because of the Anne Widdecombe's and because of my size, I think people thought, oh, here we go,
bit of a
another John
novelty.
Sargent, And so it was a bit of a 2 fingers, really, to go, I'll show you, I can dance. And Robin always said, he always called me the human sponge, because I just wanted to keep learning. And I'd go, I can't get it. And Tuesday was horrendous. Tuesday mornings were always hellish, because you'd be like, I've not got it. And then something clicks. And then by Wednesday, when they always go, oh, yeah, it's in your body. Yeah, it really is, because by Wednesday, you've got it. And I couldn't believe it. Every dance I got through, I still couldn't believe that people were picking up their phone and voting for me to keep going. But like Gaynor said about yours and Dan's relationship, I think what we did on the floor, either the ice or the dance, really doesn't matter. I think people really zoned in on me and Robin. This, the original Will and Grace. We were, it was so lovely. And I think that's what people love. It's not necessarily people that are brilliant. I think the ones on Strictly that go out and they're like absolutely amazing, like I said, you don't pick up the phone for them because they're going to get so far, and they like to see people progress and be.
And the chemistry and the friendship, and it really helps tell the story as well.
Yeah, it was.
Was it Robin's first year?
No, it was his third. It was his third year with me, but I got him the furthest.
Third time looking.
Yeah. So my bestest friend.
And how is it structured? So the show is on a Saturday, and then Sunday off. Do you have Sunday off?
Yeah, you do. I mean, I think it is common knowledge now. So directly, the show goes live at 6:30 every Saturday. That is truly, truly live to the millions. And then what happens is you come off air for 50 minutes. In those 50 minutes, you literally go back to makeup, get unsweated, and we pre-record the results show.
Yes.
So that everybody, well, actually, the pros don't get Sunday off because they're in prep for the next routine.
The next week.
Yeah, they know what you're going to get. But you know when they come up with the concepts like, oh, you might be sat in a Blackpool pub, for example, then that's called the concept day that they do on the Sunday. Yeah. But
and how do they work with the music? Because I can't get it into my head. Because you've got the live band, you've got the live singers, but surely you don't have them at rehearsal. So
yeah,
how's it put together in that way?
So they always take it as read. They don't know the first 5 dances. So when you first with the producers and the execs and your partner and the choreography team, they say to you like, "What's your favorite?" So I was like literally like a 3-year-old. Gaynor knows what I'm like. I'm like, if I ever got to week 3 and it was movie week, I want to be Madonna. I want to do Hanky Panky, you know. And so they love all that because they feel that you're invested in the routine and your confidence comes through because it's a song you like and you're going to work well. So we'd kind of chosen the 5, that we were going to do. Never for 1 minute thinking that I'd get as far as I did. It was unbelievable. Yeah.
And you were amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
I loved it.
And Sherrie, back in soaps.
She's back, baby.
Back.
Martha in Hollyoaks.
Yes, I'm a serial killer.
Oh, I can't see it, Sherrie.
I know. Well, the thing is with, yeah, I can. With Benny Dorm, she was a bit of a bitch, Joyce Temple Savage, but she was funny. So as a serial killer now, I try to bring a bit of humour into it. And I think, well, it's actually quite enjoyable to learn how to kill people. And there are a few people in my life I would like to kill. So it's
learning new skills.
It's doing me well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Learning new skills.
And they are so lovely in Liverpool. The loveliest crowd. I can't tell you how sweet they are. It's a fabulous show to do. Really fabulous.
It is a very young cast as well.
Yeah, well, it's really mixed now. But it's just such a nice place to be and such a nice show. In all my hundreds of years in this business, it's one of the gentlest shows and sweet, lovely, lovely people. But I do find it funny that, because every time I say anything, I just, and I've killed somebody, I think, oh, well, I mean, whatever, it's all right. But the thing is, in soaps, people do get away with killing people, don't they? And they carry on. It's just really...
Well, it's funny because your son is, in the show, is Jeremy Sheffield.
Yes, who is lovely.
Who was the model in Natalie Imbruglia's Torn.
Yes, and he was actually Patrick in Hollyoaks.
Yeah, now I'm sure, because I'm a bit of a Hollyoaks fan, I'm sure that when his character got murdered, he got put in a wall somewhere.
Yes.
Everyone got away with a murder.
Yes, that is true. He is in the wall, yes.
He's in a wall somewhere.
He's in a wall.
He's in a wall, yes. So Jeremy, who was Jeremy, and now
and
is
that still is Jeremy.
Yeah. Yes. But he's probably looking for the wall. But I don't know where the wall is. Being the mother, I don't know where the wall is. Unless I put him in the wall, I really don't know. So
I'm sure it was Sienna.
it was Sienna.
And Nikki Sanderson.
Yes, Nikki Sanderson, yes.
You know Nikki's character.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
I'm shocked.
She was married to him.
Yes, she was married to it. It's very complicated.
It's
It
very
really is.
Very complicated.
And don't even get me started on this time loop jump.
Oh, the
my
time
God, I
loop, and
can't.
everybody slept with everybody except me.
Oh, Sherrie.
Well, there was a time jump, so it might have happened.
It might have happened. It might, and I missed it.
You're pregnant.
Story of my life.
Right, we're going to wrap up soon, but has anyone else got any questions that they'd like to
Burning
ask?
question at the front.
Oh, well, like you, it was just, that's the best time. 10 years in Spain. 5 months every year in Spain. You can't get better than that. And it was truly wonderful. And we had fabulous guests. And we had a lot of bands as well. We had Bananarama, we had Tony Hadley, we had, you name it, all the
You
bands.
had Joan Collins.
Joan Collins was my boss, yeah. She was amazing. Now, she's a proper diva. She is a proper diva. And she's 92. And I think she looks just amazing. So we had so many guests that came out, though, and they would never go home. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, but, we had Madness, and they would never leave.
Cilla Black.
Cilla. Cilla was a loose woman with me as well.
That figures.
Yeah. She was unbelievable as a loose woman. I have to tell you. So every morning, a lot of people have what they call riders. So it means that you can have something delivered to your room, and whether it's fags or drink or whatever. So hers was Moe and Chandon. So at least 6 bottles.
What?
And Celia could have whatever she wanted, it didn't matter. So we started at 8 o'clock in the morning. Then at 8:30 we would go for the meeting, by which time she'd done at least 1.5 bottles. And by the time we got on set, she also used to hold my hand like that. And I didn't know why until I realised that she was pissed. And then she said, so tell me, what are we talking about? And I go, oh, no, she doesn't know. We'd already done 3 meetings with what we were talking about. She had no idea.
Oh,
well, I thought it was hysterical. And I used to just laugh through it all, but she knew she was wonderful, though. What good value, Scylla. And she loved doing Benidorm. And everybody who came out to us in Benidorm had the best time ever. We had, Tony Maudsley plays Kenneth.
Oh, we've had him here in Blackpool a couple of times, haven't we?
Well, yes. Well, he is the Undertaker in Corrie now. But he's very kind of somber. And when you think of who he really is, which is Kenneth, in real life, he's Kenneth. And he's the campest thing you'd ever meet in your life, isn't he? Yeah. And so playing an Undertaker, it sort of is boring him to death.
Bring back the tight tops.
I know. I just said, don't put your shorts on, Tony.
Well, I think he
sake.
I think he actually said what he'd love to have is like maybe a dream sequence where he knocks himself out of the coffin and wakes up as Kenneth from Benidorm.
God.
I think that would work really
We
well.
need to start a petition to make that happen.
Fabulous.
Any more questions?
But the character that everybody loves was Madge, of course, in the wheelchair, and she's like late 80s now, and you think everybody gets older suddenly, don't they? It's horrible. I hate it. One of the best things on telly ever, and it's still on every day. Every day.
Oh, before we ask this question, is there any truth in the rumours that it's going to have a reboot?
Well, that comes from me.
Oh, you started that. Dial a job.
I spread it everywhere that there's going to be a film, there's going to be, and I say it all the time on the internet. Yeah, I make it all up.
Okay. Question over here.
For Lisa, if you could swap lives with anyone for a day, who would it be?
Who would it be? Oh my God.
Good question.
That's difficult, isn't it?
Anybody. I think Princess Catherine, because I'm a bit common, right? I always look at it, when you think like the epitome of perfect.
So beautiful.
She is.
Yeah.
Literally, if you open a box of perfect, it is Princess Catherine. And like just how, because, she has like not been born into the royals as well.
Yeah.
I always just think if there's one day I could just be her and see how her day-to-day life, she's not going to be in Blackpool, is she?
Definitely not.
So
she's missing out on so much.
Exactly. On the big one with Princess Catherine, it'd be ace. But yeah, that I always, like, in my little fairy tale head, just think, what happens when she goes to the GP? I want to be a fly on the wall, those sort of days. I just find it all fascinating, that whole world.
The royal world.
Yeah, but especially her, because she's not been born into it.
Yeah.
And it was so allowed at the time, whereas for years it was so frowned upon.
Yeah.
Your cousin's cousin.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
I'd probably be Harry. Because I'd be out there going, the naughty one. I'd be the naughty one.
Quickly, before we go, is there a role that you've really, really wanted and never got, or a role that you've turned down which you wish you hadn't?
Ooh, good question.
Sherry's done every role she takes on.
I think it's when I went back to Emmerdale this time, 6 years ago, it was that kind of sliding doors moment. You think like, oh, what would have happened if? So Jane Hudson, who was the boss at the time, and she said, like, come back for 4 months. I was like, and I've been asked by different producers, and I was like, no, I never wanted to go back. I really didn't. And then Jane was actually my boss on Waterloo Road, and she was like, you owe me one, because she actually let me be killed off to do Strictly, because I wanted to throw them out, and I was like, no, you're right, okay. So for Jane, I went in, I did 4 months, and I just got back to Leeds. I loved it. However, at the same time, I'd got offered a year and a half as the new midwife on Call the Midwife. Yeah, and so, and of which again, you know, I would have loved to have rolled. And it was a fun role, and it was a year and a half contract. So you always think like that role might still ever be there.
Yeah.
When, you know, if they killed Mandy Dingle off, then you know that would be an option. But and as a viewer, I love Call the Midwife. You know,
Me too.
Yeah, it's a great show. So that would be possibly one that I would. Yeah, I think.
And I could really see you in that as well.
Yeah, I could, yeah.
Gaynor, anything from you?
Think of one. I mean, I absolutely loved my time on Corrie, and I am sad that they, you know. So I wanted to leave the show, but
Am I right in thinking they killed you off on a washing line or something?
yeah, I died in the backyard. I got
On
the
a
kiss of-
washing line?
Well, I had an embolism in the backyard, but I literally pulled down the.
Oh, I
the-
didn't remember that.
And I looked like a Smurf. You literally, they put this blue makeup on you, which is like to make you look dead. And like, walking through the corridors, I did look like a Smurf. And I got the kiss of life from Ken Barlow.
Oh, I say.
And you know-
Who hasn't had the kiss of life from Ken Barlow?
Well, the thing was, is that I had never had the kiss from Ken, and he literally was giving me the kiss of life. He went, "I got you in the end." It's like, good job he didn't slip his tongue in. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised, to be honest with you. And the worst, and then Ian, who played Gary Malik, comes up to Judy at the end, and he's like hugging her, and she's been dead an hour, and he's hugging me, and he's got this corsage because he's been to Maxine and Ashley's wedding. He's got a corsage on his lapel, and he's going, Judy, 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 and his pin from his corsage was sticking in my nose. And I'm going, oh. And we had to get this scene in, so I couldn't say anything. And when he came out for me, I had all blood trickling down this blue makeup. Bless him. But so I think it would have been nice for that character to have, you know, not died. But I suppose the closing of the
Because
door,
I guess they were being billed as the young
Yeah.
Jack and Vera, weren't they? And
Yeah.
they moved into Jack and Vera's
yeah,
house.
and we got so many wonderful storylines, and it was only because I wanted to go do other things. I was really young in my career, and so I wish that I'd left the door open. But in lots of ways, when the door shuts, it makes you move on rather than always.
Yeah, it does,
You know, I can
yeah.
go back, but
Yeah.
yeah. But other than that, I've loved what I've been doing.
I'm still in Germany. With
In Corrie,
I
yeah.
went to, because I married Reg, then married to, what's his name?
The butcher.
What was the butcher's name?
Armstrong.
Fred.
Elliot.
Fred.
Oh God! Oh, you've had some lookers, haven't you?
And I said I would never kiss Reg, but they made me kiss Fred Elliott on the wedding day, and he just had an egg sandwich. It was an old fart. I can only tell you it was like an old fart.
Oh, no.
So you're married now to Ken.
I'm married to Bill Webster.
Kev Webster's
Yeah, and then I
father,
went
yeah.
to Germany and came back. So I'm still married to, so I'm Webster. So Sally is my daughter-in-law, and then I've got all those granddaughters, whatever they're called, grandchildren. And so I'm still part of that kind of Corrie family, the Webster family.
Yeah.
And I love Sally so much. She's the loveliest person in the world. So there's an opening then.
There's a door. There's a door.
There's
Called
a door.
Sherrie. See? Dial a job. Right, before you go, I think this hour. Yes, it is. We've been giving away some Christmas hampers.
Oh.
What do we say if your number gets called? There we go. So, Gaynor, if you'd like to pick one out. Oh.
Got two. Sorry, that one went back. Okay, so it is number 23.
23.
Oh, they've gone home.
Oh, snooze, you lose. Go on, pick it up real
Pick
quick.
another, pick another.
Here we go. Okay, it is 410. 410.
No, they're
No,
not.
they've gone home.
Keep on till we get over.
502.
Yay!
You've won yourself a hamper.
Now, you see, that could be that way up, couldn't it? Or it could be that way. 313. Yay!
Yay!
We've got another hamper there. And let's just try and find you a winner.
Gotta find a winner. Come on. Right, this is the one. 126.
Oh, next door.
You're going to have to bang them up.
Oh, my God. Gaynor.
Let's do it all.
I'll have it. Right, what? 307.
Yay! Right then, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Have you had a good time?
Brilliant.
Hey.
Let's give it up for Gaynor, Lisa, and Sherrie.
Hey. Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Guys, if you'd like to take a picture, then take them now before they take the makeup off. Believe me, you don't want it after that.
Thank you, guys.